Hello, 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 and welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. I'm your host, Unapologetically Angela. Thank you so much for joining me on this terrific Thursday. I am so happy because I love when I can sit and talk to couples because I am such a hopeless romantic. And this particular couple is really near and dear to my heart because this is my cousin. This is the woman honestly, not because of anything that has gone on in her life. I just thought she was never gonna be married. We was just gonna be ride or die out here in these streets. So to find out, to find out, that she has stumbled upon her divine right, her partner for life, is really special to me because I know her and I know what it takes, what type of man it would take to be able to truly, fully be able to embody her and have a happy life. So, Reginald has definitely become part of the family. I love his low key demeanor because he handles her well. And I'll be like, I'm in awe. So, it was just such a great opportunity to be able to talk to them and actually hear their love story. It's so interesting that I've seen him around. He's been around for quite some time, but I never knew any information how they met, how they fell in love, what were their conversations about. So I am so grateful to have Reginald and P. Michelle on my show. Hey, y'all.
Hi, girl,
Hello.
hi.
How
How
y'all
y'all
doing?
doing? Listen, listen.
He acting it
You
already.
gonna let this man be himself. He gonna let you be himself. We are not gonna do that today.
Oh, Jesus.
Take a
Okay.
breath.
Mm.
And I'm gonna talk to Reginald first. So, Reginald, are you from Memphis?
No, I'm originally was born in Jackson, Mississippi. I was raised in Greenville, Mississippi.
Oh, okay. So, what brought you to Memphis?
Well, I've been in and out of Memphis for over 30 years,
Okay.
and my dad was originally, well, actually, my grandparents from from down there moved there because of the job he was working at. My granddad was actually working on for the railroad,
Okay.
and like I said, he was the first. They were the first family members to actually to move to Memphis,
Okay.
and soon after, maybe like say my first trip here was in '84 or '85, 86, I think, '86.
Okay.
Um, I because we was staying in North Memphis on Seventh Street. We were staying on Seventh Street at that time. Then years later, that's when my dad decided after the job that he was working for over 25 years had a severe fire, and down in Greenville, we back then it was a very industrial area beforehand, back in the early '70s and throughout before the late '90s. And unfortunately, my dad did not have the education like any other person there have. So he ended up could not find any type of jobs in Greenville that with his skill set. So he ended up moving to Memphis back in May the 10th of '89. As the same also, which is also the same day well my sister was born. So
Oh,
he
wow.
moved. So he moved here, and once he got himself together, he ended up getting us doing. We come to Memphis every summer. We end up moving about maybe like 4 or 5 blocks from my grandparents' house. So it's like once my dad go to work, I go down. We all go down to my grandparents' house, and until my dad get off of work, and then we come back to his place. So it's like you know, we always had back in those times we was once was a very close knit family. So I end up I end up moving. I end up staying here. About 15. I end up moving here. Came back here when I was 15, and stayed within a year and a half with my dad at that time. And that's what's because I always did fall in love with the city because at night I see where we were staying there, the bright lights through the downtown awes me to the point that I normally stare at the big city lights for almost till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And back then the the sound, the grittiness of Memphis and the beauty of it got me fall in love with the city, and I just say one day I'm gonna end up moving here. So fast forward to, because I'm just gonna skip part of the reasons. Well, part the rest of it because there's some interesting moments on that part on my end. But in 2014, I was staying in. I was homeless at one point, and because I'm an Army veteran,
Mm.
and the transitional place there in Memphis kind of like got the ball rolling of what I am today, because the fact that most veterans, um, once a veteran you hit homelessness, it's kind of hard to get. It's kind of hard to get out of because you have these temptations with alcohol and drugs and whatnot, and you can get drawn in through depression as well. So I end up I end up being on the street for like about 3 weeks at the time in January of 14. If you can remember how January 14 was,
Cold.
at that time it was Arctic cold.
Yeah.
It was really Arctic cold. And yes, I was literally sleeping in the streets, and trying to keep myself warm, trying to get into certain, go to all day, all night, 24-hour restaurants just to warm up or whatnot. Just um, warm up, and then at the same time, I ain't had no type of IDs or anything.
So how old were you then, Reginald?
About 36, 37.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So what got you off the street? How did you end up replanting yourself somewhere?
Well, only thing I had in my name was a food stamp card,
Okay.
which I still have to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And I constantly, every once in a while, I look at it as a constant reminder of what started a small food stamp card.
Mm-hmm.
Me selling my food stamps, keeping me fed, picking up pocket change from drive-throughs and everything, and saving up for just for an idea. I ended up getting an ace idea at the time. So, and get my birth certificate. So, once I got that information, I ended up getting to transition to housing there. And my case manager asked me, do I know anything about CWT? With CWT, means compensation work therapy, is for helping veterans who was in dire need circumstance. They need jobs, that work on job interview, job resume, work on your resume, and build your companies up. So, at that time, I was working at the inside the kitchen there, and I literally worked 7 days out of the week, every day. I had for the 3 months I worked there, I maybe was off one day. And be honest with you, they forced me to be off that day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I saved enough my money then, and then I ended up getting filed some claims. And ended up getting a compensation for my injuries and with PTSD and tendonitis of my hearing. So I saved enough money then. So at that time, my children was in West Memphis, and I want to move closer to them. So I ended up saving all the money I had and moved into a small bedroom, 2 bedroom apartment. It was like $450 a month at the time because the money I was saving, the money I know I'm gonna get every month going to hold me out until I find a job. So the only way I was staying in Nashville, I actually applied for the same job that they was going for, but I didn't get qualified because the fact that beforehand, even though it was like hiring phase, whatever, they always hire veteran with 10%. I ain't have but like 5% of the time. So my
10%. What does that mean?
10% just like 10 points. It's like 10 points. That means where you getting your interviews, you if the interview is like 80, and that 10 point for me will get automatically give me that job.
Okay.
So so I didn't get the job, but I was at that time my 3 months was over with. So they was like, so you want to stay another month? I said we never had anybody that's, every time they finish a program they know to give them 90 days. I was actually the first CWT worker to actually got my days extended. So I extended from March till June instead of March to May. So around June-ish, I saved up whatnot, and I end up moving here to Memphis and got my apartment. So this is what I tell, this is the blessing of how God's had me covered through all this. So in around July, I got a phone. I was at home. I was coming from because with the area I stay at, was walking distance from the grocery store, Family Dollars, barbershop. Everything I needed was right there. So instead of me just because I ain't had no vehicle at the time, so wherever I needed is right there in that area. So I was going to the store, and the phone that I still, I also got a smaller phone, which I still got as well. So I get a phone call from the VA. So the VA so I say, hi, this is Miss Lee from the Miss VA Medical Center and Human Resource Department. I just want to let you know that congratulations, you have a job. Now I ain't fit out no type of resume, no type of I ain't fit out no type of job applications, none of that. And I was like, who you asked for again? I said, Reginald Barney. I said, yeah, this is me again. So the funny and the funny thing about it was and then I say, yeah, thank you. I say thank you. I say, can I get back with you later today? Make my decision. So
Really?
I thought it was a prank. To be honest with you, I promise to God. I promise to God. I thought it was a prank because spam calls and all that good stuff.
Right.
So I called my old case manager in Nashville, and my case manager in Nashville was telling me, well, we felt bad how things happened here. So the chief of that department and my case manager talked to the chief at that time at the VA, was telling me how a person like me will be beneficial for your department. So
wow.
So about maybe like 10 minutes later, the actual chief from the Memphis VA calls me and told me, just let you know, this is not a prank. We would like you to want to come there to work with us. We would like you to come to work.
Wow.
So yeah, I end up getting a job without even applying for a job.
Okay, so now this is what makes it interesting. So Pam,
Mm-hmm.
you were working at the VA at the time already, correct?
Yeah.
So how did you and Reginald meet?
Also, where I work at the VA, I work on a ward, and so
Okay.
like Reggie said, he was working in the kitchen, and he would come onto the ward from time to time. And there was one particular day, I think it was like Jean Day there, and he had this grizzly shirt on and some jeans, and he was like, "You could call me Reggie B." And I'm looking at him like, this dude weird. I'm like, okay, whatever. So then, I mean, we was speaking, passing, and one day he had came onto the ward. He had stopped by my office, and then we had a real conversation. And so, shared a couple times, good conversation. And so that conversation led to me. I gave him my number, um, not thinking we'll be here today. You know, my thing was, you know how P Michelle is. P Michelle's just gonna, get it in a couple times, gone about her business. But he's still here.
Still here. Okay, so y'all being casual, you're having great conversations. So Reginald, did you ask her out on a date? How did this happen? How did y'all end up dating?
We actually, I did ask her out, but I ain't had no vehicle. So, um, didn't realize she always say that. Now, may I remind you, I did not even look at the fact that she was in a wheelchair and whatnot. But I'm gonna be honest with some
Did you
things.
think she was just, I mean, like real? Did you really think she was like sitting in her office chair, or you never saw her out and about?
No,
Tell her the first time you saw me, because that's not the first time I saw you in the canteen. I mean, in the store. That's the first time you saw me.
yeah, I think.
That ain't the first time I saw you. I didn't know you then.
Um, I don't remember the camping situation.
When you said you saw me in the store,
Okay, tell me the story, Pam. He saw you in the store.
so he told me that he had saw me in the store, because I think he got there probably January,
October,
October 14th.
October 6th.
Or 14. Okay, so he got there in 14. I didn't know anything about him until 15,
Okay.
when he would come over to the ward. But he had told me that he had saw me, like, we got a little store at the VA. He was going into,
Now I
yeah.
remember.
And now he remember jogging the memory that. So yeah, that's when he first saw me. And I told him, I said, you just saw a thick ass girl in the wheelchair that was real cute. You ain't know what you was fit to get yourself into.
Help me, Lord, help me. Okay, so you see her in the store, and then how long after you seeing her in the store, Reginald, is it before you decide you're gonna ask her out?
That actually went down. That was down the line after that.
Okay,
That was way
okay,
down the line because
okay. So
like
Pam, when he asked you out, what were you thinking? Were you
Oh, I was like, okay, we can go. Actually, I think it was the day our first date was. I used to go to U of M to go speak at a family and disabilities class for one of my old psychology professors, and it was actually that day. Uh, I was like, he said he was gonna meet me up at the school, and I think I knew he didn't have a car then. I think so he met me up at the school, and we ended up going to some Mexican restaurant on Poplar.
happy Mexican.
Yeah, so we ended up going there. So we hung out a couple times, and I think one Saturday when I got off work, we had went down on the river, and that's when he asked me. He would ask me questions about being in a wheelchair, yada yada yada, and then he had asked about us dating, being in a relationship, and I had talked to a couple of my friends about it, and one of them, T Mac, she was like, "Well, you ain't messing with nobody. Gone. You just see where it's gonna go." And here we are.
But
And
here's
here
the
we go
interesting
here.
thing, though. Okay, I know, yes, here we are, but because we're family, y'all have had some like roller coaster type of
Mhm.
moments. And so to be here at this point is like, wow.
Right.
So, okay, so my question is like for the both of you all, what has really been okay? So we've got Reginald who is, accepting and dealing with his PTSD, and you and whatever your physical limitations are. But what has truly been as a couple the biggest obstacle?
Um, I would say mental health
Okay.
was one of the biggest obstacles because there were a few times I was like, nah, get somebody else to do it. But then I would see him in Reginald. This is why probably will make me cry. He's a lot like my dad.
Mm, 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 mm.
Um, it's the Mississippi thing. My dad will give his shirt off his back to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the same way. And just like my dad, if you feel like you're taking his kindness for weakness, he turned into a whole nother person. And
Really?
so, but one thing that my dad always said was, don't make your home a rest home. And I took that as to, don't let no man just be coming in and out and all that stuff and thinking that he's going to be trying to use you and everything else. And that's something that I've taken into account because I'm in this chair, but I ain't no punk.
That's right.
So people who interact with me know that. And so with me being, I believe in the whole sign thing. So with me being a Virgo, it's hard for me to let people in.
Mm-hmm.
Because I analyze everything and do and will. Uh,
still.
sure do. And so, yeah, it took me a minute to say, okay, it took him a long time before he even came to my house. To my
Uh-oh.
apartment.
Uh-oh.
To the apartment, I took you a long time before you got in. Baby, don't do me. Don't you do me. Don't be acting like I'm just out there, baby. Don't be doing it.
I ain't say that either.
So yeah, it took a while for him to just I don't like people. I like people,
Right.
but I don't like people.
Right.
And safety is a big thing for me. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
just like everybody in my space.
Right. Right.
Especially these days, you don't know who for you, who ain't for you. I can't cuss. Okay. It could be people that you think got your back or what have you, and they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So I just and then COVID just really messed me up. It just I'm like, I ain't go hoop. I ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm gonna go to work. I'm going to the house.
That's right. That's right. So tell me about the proposal, Reginald. Well, when did you start thinking about it, and then when did you execute it? Uh-oh.
Okay, so I've been actually thinking about this for a year, but at the same time, I was in a process. I was going through a process of pledging.
Oh,
Listen,
hence the shirt. I get it.
right.
So, you know, it didn't hit then because I wanted to do it an all in one swoop. Once I get my letters, then I want to propose. But um, I kind of I ain't gonna say kind of. I did disappoint her at one point during that time because I was prioritizing this because I was prioritizing my letters because even before it's always you never know when the next opportunity is of doing something that you've been waiting for over 20 years after because my first opportunity was in 2003, but I got I got my orders came in the time that the line about to start. So waiting and everything. But um, I almost lost her then because of something that I would have wanted. But the thing about that, the lesson I learned about that is never, because fraternity come and go, but person in your lifetime will be forever. So I
Yeah, we gonna be so terrible this week. Anybody gets
so I
Oh.
didn't do it this. I ain't doing it in the fall, but like I said, she kind of broke up with me. Well, she did broke up with me, and
You thought we had lost you, Reginald. We thought you was gone, brother.
and I did the hair and I did the hair Mary thing too. So I did the hair Mary thing because I didn't even know that she gonna even try to accept me back with and want to be my wife. So I went soon I got off of work. Um, I went to the jewelry store. I just find a jewelry store, any jewelry store, and
It was a good jewelry store.
yeah, it was a good one. I just picked the ring. I picked the ring out, and I came to her office,
Oh,
and I just threw it at her. Not really threw it at her. I just put it on the desk, and I was about to walk off. And I was like, and she was like, "What this for?" And I was like, "Look, it can be a friendship ring, it can be an engagement ring, but you always say you want a ring, you want a comma in it." And I say, even if they will not get back together, I still want you to have the ring.
what?
Girl, he makes me sick. Oh. Whew. Ain't nobody got time.
Okay, Pam. Okay, so he put.
So,
And I ain't no punk. Just let me put that out.
and I just left, and I did leave, because she asked me to give her some space, so I respectfully gave her space.
I said, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm stick that.
Okay, Pam. So the ring is on the desk. Reginald walks away.
So
What's
the
going
ring
through
is
your
on the
mind?
desk. It was almost. What you say? What was on my mind? What you ask?
Yeah. How are you feeling?
My heart was racing, and at the same time, I was like, I don't know. That's a big step for P. Michelle talking about getting some married, but I was actually getting ready to leave work. And I think that dad had came by the job to get something, and then I was going to Gordon's to go and get some grapes. And so he trailed me over there to Gordon's, and after that he just left. And so I went by my mom's house, and just so happened my best friend was coming over there because my mama had some for her, and I had the ring in between Steve's thighs, baby, in the box, and I'm whispering to her. She's sitting on the couch, and I'm whispering, and I was like, "Reginald gave me a ring." She said, "What? Where's that?" And I looking back, making sure Mama wasn't behind me. I done took it and gave it to her, and she looked at it. She said, "Girl, what you gonna do?" I said, "I don't know." And I think maybe I of course process. I believe in processing, baby. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I processed it and I told him, well, it's a little too big. We need to go get it resized so I can think about
I cannot stand you.
So we went and we got it resized or what have you, and then I know it was October on a Friday. I don't know the date, but you probably do. Uh, it's the day that we got it back from getting resized, and so he had me call my sister Erica on Messenger, and he proposed again. Yeah, well, he proposed for real versus just putting it on the desk. But yeah, he proposed for real. And we got a video somewhere around here somewhere.
And that time you said,
I said yes.
I ain't gonna never forget when I got the inbox. I was like,
Right, all the way over there in Egypt.
I just knew you was joking. I just knew. I was like, quit lying. I was like, okay, 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 okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I love the answers to these questions. So Reginald, if you could tell me one thing that you like the most about Pam, what would it be?
I wasn't even gonna say that.
Oh, okay, I'm happy you were gonna say that. Oh my God.
What is he finna do, Lord?
Probably finna start crying like me, girl.
Oh, y'all. I love it. What is the wedding gonna be like, Lord? We're gonna need some bath towels.
Yeah, we gonna need some buckets, some boats, or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Reginald, come on.
I would say because she's still here through all of my BS, all the BS that I put myself through, all the BS put her through. I'm to this point now. I'm to the point that I'm more. I embrace, and like I say, my Sigma journey gave me a input about my life and realize I'm an introvert, and I love it. I love being an introvert. I love it. Introverts are the best people ever. But anyway, it's the thing is she's all my past relationships that I had, even when I was married before, and no matter what in life, no matter what, I'm gonna be loyal to you. Just don't leave me. Just be loyal to me. Just be loyal to me because I rarely have people. I rarely have people. No, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of people, but rarely a lot of people in my circle. My circle's about this big now. It was this big, but not this big now. Shoot, it's to the point now. The last time the phone rings, just my phone rings, even though my phone don't even ring every 5-6 days now. Yeah, yes. But that's not the point. But I found somebody who pushed me to be better. To the point, at first I was staying in a 2-bedroom apartment. I was fine taking the bus from work to back to work, to back to work, back to work. And I say I was fine staying in my little area. But Miss Johnson here is like this. If you want to see me more often, you need to get a car. So I ended up getting my first car. Well, I ain't gonna say. Well, I say actually that's my second car. Yeah, my second car. Third. I had a Durango. But that damn Durango too. But anyway, like I said, I ended up getting a car and everything, and end up getting getting vehicles throughout the year. Then, I was in contempt at one time at my job and she pushed me to she pushed me to be a better person. She want me to do better because you ain't working in the kitchen. You don't really make that much money unless you just move up. And like I said, I was when the thing that she's like said she didn't like when people take their kinds for granted because during the time in the kitchen, I learned everybody's job more better. I learned everybody's job. I know how to do everybody's job, and I was pretty good at doing other people's job. But they weren't trying to hire me at the other job, at the other positions. They want to just keep me there until I stand up to myself one day. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. No. Mm-mm. And with that job, with that in that area there was just toxic, toxic,
Yes, Lord.
toxic AF. And since we can't curse, so
I didn't say that.
but
She said she ain't say it.
huh?
She said she ain't say
No, we're going because these good people here listen to the story. But so I end up so I was taking classes inside the VA, and I met this lady named Miss Erica Murphy, and Miss Murphy uh, was like, "Well, I'm prepared to move," because kind of find out Miss Murphy is related to my best friend in Arkansas. So she was like, if anybody good with anybody is good to my is real good to my I heard because I met you a few times, you're real good people, and I heard about blah blah blah, and I'm about to move into customer service. Whenever we open up, I'm gonna get you there. Just have everything ready. So I ain't never realized how talented my baby is, because that's the other thing I really love about her, because she has tremendous talent. She's so smart for anybody that I know. I mean, down to earth. Especially, times a lot of times she put me in my place in certain things. She calls me out on a lot of things. Sometimes it's feasible. Sometimes I just.
I get it. I get it. That's right. I get it.
But
Sorry.
she's for the time being, she helped me with helped me with my resume, and but Miss Erica, despite of the toxicity of the department, the whole hospital, because she did ask around about the whole hospital, but she knew about the kitchen too. She knew how anything you ask about the kitchen, they're gonna rely on me anyway. So she asked the whole hospital about me, and everybody in the hospital. I got a great repertoire with everybody at the hospital. Everybody know who I am. I like to go around making people laugh, keep smile, joke with them, give good advice and everything there. Reliable, Some days when I was doing food costs, we have food costs, whatever, and I had extra food, whatever to them. I just slide them a little Coke or whatever. Because, me doing that opened up people like, hey, I'm going to get this guy here. I'm going to help this guy here. So I knew what I was doing. Far as that, I was kind of like buttoning up anybody in the department, because, I was definitely thinking about leaving the department anyway. But anyways, I ended up talking to Miss Erica and also Mr. Erica Murphy and Kimball Hobson. There was my former chiefs and assistant chief at customer service. And they gave me a chance there. And everything else went there good. Because now I'm one of the leads now at the VA Medical Center in the customer service. We now about to get a pay raise because of the current directors there now and the current chiefs there saw that this VA here is the lowest paying VA in the VA system. Period.
Wow.
So we now all getting equal pay with the same VA, and now to the point now I'm um, up for a actual supervisor position there.
Okay, Reginald. All right.
Okay then.
Okay, Pam.
And I was hold on. I was gonna say this right here because without this woman here, I'm gonna be honest with you. Without this woman, I think I told you this last night. You are my anchor.
Oh yeah.
You are my anchor
I know.
because without you, I could be still floating out to sea somewhere. I probably the Titanic.
Oh baby, don't you do that.
Like the Titanic with submarine situation, but
You special.
but
You special.
but she have pushed me to limits that I never pushed myself. Never have anyone push myself for. Even with my own family, don't push me like she pushed me. And
Mm.
I'll be honest with you, I can't. Days that how many times we had broken up, I mean, I can't be without her. Like I actually need you in my life.
Okay, babe. I'm here. I get it.
So
I ain't got time for all this crying.
I'm just saying, you push me to a lot of levels. And you're still constantly pushing me. Even she even pushed me to go back to school for that one semester. And I felt real good about that, even though it was hard, but she pushed me even took us I went back and got a semester in school.
Nice.
And without her pushing me through all this, if I know she can push me through anything simple like this, I know she can push me to the greater lengths. And like I said, I'll always be indebted to you for that. I am.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be doing all this crying.
I mean, goodness. Okay.
All
right.
Pam. Makeup and stuff. Ain't nobody gonna be doing all that.
It's over with now, honey. Okay, Pam.
What?
Same question. What kept you? Because I know you.
What kept me because when I would talk to Reginald about things that I didn't like or whatever, it's not he didn't shut it down. He kept an open mind. He has learned to communicate versus wanting to argue. And just like I said, he's a lot like my daddy. And that worked. In my opinion, my dad was a good dude. So, just love for everybody. Gonna make sure everybody good. Gonna make sure everybody eat. Tell me what his coworkers. But just a good dude. He really is. And so that's what kind of made me stick around. I couldn't shake him. I was like, we go figure this thing out or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank y'all so much. I mean, and I have to say, and Pam, I know you'll get this. I have to say, Reginald, I truly, truly appreciate you because there's so many men who don't like to show emotion. There's so many men that don't like to talk about their traumas. There's so many men that have a story like yours that have not allowed their trauma and their situations to keep them stuck. And it is okay to say that God sent you a woman to help keep you focused. I don't know where that problem is, but I totally honor you. I have so much respect for you, and I hope that any men that are watching, just how y'all look at each other and just how she was looking at you, hearing you express how much she means to you is priceless. It's priceless. So it's beautiful to see in this day and age where maybe these people out in these streets doing God knows what.
Oh,
So I applaud you all. Thank you so much. You all are defeating
so
all odds. And, it's going to be interesting to see what the first year of marriage is going to be like.
okay.
But I'm excited. I'm excited because you both deserve it. You deserve to be happy in love. So thank y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Thank y'all for sharing. Have a good night. And
Thank you, ma'am.
I will see you all very, very soon. I love y'all.
Love
Love
you
you too.
too.
All right. Talk to you later.
Bye
All
bye.
right.
Oh my God. That was so, I was like, I felt like I was watching something on Netflix. But I love it. I love it. When raw emotion puts you in a place where you cannot pretend like you're not feeling something. And one thing that I've realized in growing and aging and everything is being in a relationship is a choice. And these two people have made a choice. It was so beautiful to hear Reginald say that he didn't even really notice or pay attention to the fact that Pam was in a wheelchair. It was the fact that he was drawn to her for whatever reason, and nothing was going to stop him from making her his wife. And I love that. I love that because we still have to believe in love. We still have to believe in relationships. We still have to believe in good people and that it can happen. So thank you again, guys. I really appreciate you sharing, not just because you're my family, but just because your love story is so needed in this day and time. I thank everyone for watching. Um, Please, 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 please take this moment. If you're in a relationship, let your loved ones know that you love them. Talk about what you appreciate about them. Don't be afraid to show that emotion because you never know what that person's love language is or what they need at that moment. And if you are not in a relationship and you're single, take a moment to look in the mirror and assess yourself and address the things that you love about yourself and the things that you want to work on, and make sure that you're loving yourself fully, because how you treat yourself is how you're going to allow people to treat you. That's one thing about my cousin that I totally love, love, love about her. When she says she ain't no punk, she is not a punk. And she's always loved herself in spite of all the things that have gone on in her life. So to have a man to be able to match that is a beautiful thing. And that's a show enough blessing. So I love you guys. And I'll see you next Thursday. Peace, love, and wonder. Because I wonder what will happen next. I wonder what it will take if you just open yourself up and allow things to happen. It's not always going to be what you plan. It's always going to be what you're ready for. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.